The Prix Cycliste de Montréal is presented in collaboration with Ecoy, official helmets and glasses partner, and Tudor, official timekeeper of the Prix Cycliste de Quebec et de Montréal. Niels Poet still leading the chase group. The advantage has gone out to just over a minute, 16 men on the front. We keep counting down the laps here in Montreal, the 2025 Grand Prix Cycliste de Montréal. My name is Gavin Day. Any questions to throw my way at Gavin L. Day on the Gram and the X. So next year, the way the schedule goes, there will be Quebec, Montreal, and then the World Championships. So just so much to come. Separation in the group there on that descent. We'll just see if that goes down to descent ability or if this is actual attack coming from within the one breakaway group. Well, they are pushing it now. Two Ineos riders, the Americans still there. Both EF Education Easy Post riders, Alex Baudin, Harry Sweeney are there. Well, it's a bit of a fracture within the group. Shed a few riders, Jürgen Nordhagen, Mauro Schmidt among them, Pascal Enkhorn, Marius Meyerhofer. I guess perhaps the front group wasn't happy with some of the people, but it doesn't look like a huge advantage now, so maybe it's just part of the descent. 100 kilometers now in the books. Oh, wow. That's a skill. Knocked the bottle. Was able to twist, catch, and drop into the bottle cage. So there's got to be a few UCI points to hand him for that. Play of the day. And then the other rider dropped a gel. Look at Schmidt joking a little bit. I think he was looking at them. Dropped on top. I'm impressed with the ability to knock the bottle, didn't grab it purely, spun around, twisted, caught it. 2.5 hours in the books. Looks like that front group is reforming. Now it's on, swinging back around. That's being held out. Those are the bags that have more solid food. Roland's getting one. So they're all going to say, "So what'd you pack me for lunch today?" And it'll be a surprise. Oh, PB&J again. Although there's one thing I'm sure they won't be having is Montreal smoked meat sandwich. Hopefully someone can get a chance to try one afterwards. I think we're actually close to Schwartz's. I think it's right nearby. Landmark deli, really not far away. Now, how long did it disappear for a moment and get away with it? Of course, Montreal, known for its bagels. And no, I will not say what I think is better. It all comes down to personal taste. I don't judge. New York bagels, Montreal bagels. The bagel is a delicious thing no matter what. And so they all have their perks. They're all good for various different reasons. Although now I did have a Montreal bagel this morning and yes, it was fantastic. sure it's not in the diet of these men, at least not until now, or at least not for now. Once the season ends. Maybe they go find one. Oh, and there's a crash there at the front. That's Ankhorn down. Went right over his handlebars at the back. And I'm not sure if there's actually an injury there he's just stunned, because that was out of nowhere. But at this point, that might spell the end of his time in the break. The field's so close. And there's a clash of wheels there. I'm not sure if he was level with Pithy, or if it was the wheels in behind. I was watching the wheels in the front, but Pithy was not on the same line as him. But those are the ones that hurt the most. Not a high-speed crash, but just almost right over the handlebars and down. And was it with Sveesta Bordsang? Scary for Pascal Einholm. Of course, when you're falling like that too, the instinct to reach out, put your hand down, and that's where so many collarbone injuries and shoulder injuries come from. He's up, but he's not going to be in the breakaway anymore, that's for sure. So we'll see if he can settle back into the main field. Always nice to see him getting up though after a crash like that, just straight down. When you're at speed, you're at least kind of skidding a little bit, if that helps in any way. Then you're just dealing with road rash issues, but when you're going like that down, that's where incidents can happen. And yeah, he's back in the main field. One of his teammates, a couple of teammates I see, Valentin Paré-Peintre, giving him a quick glance. Paré-Peintre, really the one to watch perhaps for Soudal Quickstep, winner up the Mont Ventoux, adding his name to that storied legacy on that historic climb. It's the end of Ion Izagirre pulling out. You would have thought to be in a breakaway or up a climb. Kofidis losing another rider. Now the abandons start to pile up as we approach 100 kilometers remaining. Meyerhofer on the back. And the German from Tübingen, 24 years old, winner of the 2023 Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race. Really the curtain raiser on the season for Australia, in Australia. He did also win a race in France, Stage 3 of the Boucle de la Mayenne, into Laval in France, beating out one solo. The likes of Girmay, Brian Kokar behind him, Giacomo Nizzolo beat out a bunch of sprinters. Did that man right there, 2:14, Marius Meyerhofer. One thing we haven't seen any aerial shots of yet is the Olympic Stadium. So, perhaps good and bad. It's been saved you watching at home, I've been saved my 15-minute presentation on the Montreal Expos. A whole lot of heavy sighing and fond memories. Maybe they will, but if they do it near the tail end of the race, I'll be too focused to go on at length. Done. They've all stocked up their bars, gels. Spoke about it briefly in Quebec City, but one of the big in vogue cycling foods, because rice cakes have had their day. The evergreen battle of what's the best thing for a rider to eat. Again, I'm not going to brand it, the Rice Crisp cereal bars that you make with marshmallows at home, or even the the mass-produced one, is having a moment in the sun. A lot of people are riding the mix of carbs, quick sugars, as well as is finding a moment, just like chocolate milk had a time, not in cycling, but as like a recovery drink. But then they just sort of say, well, it's after really intense workouts. So maybe after cycling, you do a drink of chocolate milk. But of course, everybody's different. Different stomachs can handle different things. A lot of people can only handle so many bars. The evergreen cycling food when you're on a ride, banana, easy to chew, easy for the stomach to digest, easy to slip in the back pocket of your jersey. Although these guys, we don't really ever see anybody getting handed a banana, but that's for us non-professionals. There is the Red Bull helmet on the left of your screen in yellow. Wout van Aert sniffing around the front. Been able to survive these times over the climb so far. Van Aert, the winner on a Mont Ventoux stage as well of the Tour. And then a sprint stage as well. Van Aert can do just about anything. I'm not sure if he's doing cyclocross again this winter and fall, but his battles with Mathieu van der Poel in that discipline have become legendary status in the sport. A couple of clouds in the sky, but a beautiful day. Here in Montreal, the leaves starting to change. Fall not too far away. Look over to Ile Notre Dame, South Shore as well. Still over a minute. Now down one rider with the crash of Pascal Einkorn. He's going up the climb. It's Johnny Vermeesch. And then Nordhagen, the young Norwegian. So any chance they get with the ups and downs, it's just a matter of packing in the calories whenever they can. Pithy and Tratnik, the two Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe riders. Pithy has been one of the animators in these two races in Quebec. Launched the counter a couple days ago in Quebec, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The crowd here in Montreal. The riders talked about how fantastic they were in Quebec. I'm sure they'll get same praise here in Montreal. They don't often do these circuit races. A lot of times there's open road with few people standing aside, but this is just like a tunnel of noise to bike through around this entire circuit here. 12.3 kilometer loops. (269 meters of climbing per lap. Just adds up. Takes its toll on the legs. Niels Pollitt, underappreciated ride of the day. He has been on the front so long for UAE Team Emirates XRG, and I'm sure he was told that that was his job today. We're going to be doing a lot of time at the front as we measure each one of the riders. Each one will have their turn. We count down, we wait, we expect the attack of the rainbow jersey, and each rider They'll do a pull to set up their team leader. See if Pogačar can knock out the knockout punch. Yeah, that makes sense. A little competitive. Each time a gap opens up, if you're in a break like this, you have to do that little bit of work to close it back down. It does add up. You just want to be sucked in on that wheel as long as you can for as far as you can. Riders shedding some waste there. A lot of races these days, there's now an area where they can dispense with their garbage. It is Ancorn's day. There's some blood there on the elbow. Fortunately, he's not hanging the arm out, which would be a telltale sign of a collarbone or shoulder injury, but here's a look back. And did he flat? Did his front wheel go flat, or did it hit something? It's a mystery to me. I've just got one set of eyes here looking at, and not sure. If anyone wants to let me know what they saw, feel free to let me know at Gavin L. Day on the Gram and the X, because I'm not sure. It looked like something happened to the front wheel, but I'm not sure what it could have been. Anyway, he has now abandoned the race. Hope any injuries aren't too bad for him. Pullet still pulling away. Wellens now. Tim Wellens, the current Belgian champion, sitting right there as 100-kilometer milestone approaches. We haven't seen the likes of Florian Lipovitz yet. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe were third in the Tour this year. We haven't really seen Oscar Onley, Picnic Post NL rider, fourth in the Tour. What's so cool is that 3 of the top 4 riders from the Tour de France are here. And of course, Jonas Vingegaard, the lone exception off. We'll give him a pass. The Vuelta's also okay. Going to win that red jersey. Just leaving everything out there. Hats off, chapeau to Tim Wellens, for that grimace has been etched on his face for hours now. At least 50 kilometers, and he is just doing the work. I'm sure at the end of the day, should his team leader come away with the victory, a special pat on the back will go to Niels Pullet. From the race, the gap now back down under a minute as we approach that 100-kilometer mark. 1 minute, let's just say this, is manageable. It could come down in a hurry when and if, let's just say when, because it's not a matter of if, the main field is ready. They will be able to drill it back before you know it. But these guys will not give up. It's a mix of two groups for those of you just joining us. A group of about 7 went off early, with about 140 kilometers to go. Another group tried to bridge and did bridge from the main field, the counterattack. And then we've lost Pascal Einkorn to a crash. And so, remember, these guys have been off the front since almost the wave of the flag. A couple of under 23 guys really putting in good works. Andrew August, Artem Schmidt, Americans on Ineos Grenadiers. Jorgen Nordhagen, Norwegian, on Visma Lisa bike. Showing glimpses of what may be as their teams, I think their teams have them signed for a couple more years. Sweat starts to pile up too. Sodium becomes ever more important. Electrolytes, all that. Although I don't know if there's ever a surprise where you think you're spraying water on yourself to cool off and you spray the sports drink or whatever mix they have, and that just sounds unpleasant to me. A nasty sort of surprise that suddenly you get some colored drink on you and you just feel icky. Anyway, the random musings that we have in bike races. Another lap done. 8 laps to go. And we're into the second half of the race now. And there is the world champion getting a drink. Looks like he has a gel attached to it. And I think that was Alaphilippe actually doing that. Squirting just to see what was in the bottle, and it looked like water. Let's see if we can see anybody there. It's really just starting to get strung out. The days of the bunch-up pack, or the hours of the bunched-up pack, are over. This thing is really going to start to get strung out. There's the prize for the winner. I'm always a fan of the races where there are food prizes. Trobro-Léon in France, the prize is a pig. I don't think they get to take it home with them. A Tudor watch, though, is actually quite nice. I'll take it. But I do always like the edible prizes. I think there's a Tour de la Provence, there's a race down in the south of France where they get Calisson d'Ax, which is it marzipan? It's yeah, it's a dessert made with almonds. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Tim Wellens now taking that might be the end of Niels Pullet. Job done for him. He gets them inside 100 kilometers. And now it's Wellens' time to take over. Jonathan Narvaez is there in the Ecuadorian champions jersey. 2015 winner. Just the lieutenants that Pogačar has to work with. He has Brandon McNulty with him. Pavel Sivakov, of course, on the podium the other day. That's Sivakov's second wheel right now. And then Adam Yates in the back pocket. It's Wellens on the front right now. Let that be the final few pedal strokes in anger by Pullet. All going to plan, and then 100 kilometers left, less than that, end of the lap. Does his part. Wellens takes over. is the end of Artem Schmidt, the young American suffering up. The Voix Camillon Oud. The young American, good effort from him today. For the 21-year-old, getting experience in this World Tour race. He did the race in Brittany, the one-day race. That was his last World Tour race. He did the Cyclassics, which is really a sprinter's race in Germany. Tour of Wallonia, Balois Belgium Tour. So he's done a lot of World Tour, actually no, the World Tour races. Race in Brittany, the Bretagne Classic, Cyclassics, Tour de Romandie, Flèche Wallonne, Amstel Gold. So not a bad calendar for that young American, racing a lot of World Tour races. And now he will sit and wait. He won't stop, he'll keep going, but he'll wait for the approaching peloton and see if he can stick around with them. And it's pithy now. The lights going out. Trying to go for the second time around. Is this just a stretch of the legs, or is it a genuine attack? I don't think so. I don't think he's actually going for it. And that's Andrew August. Pithy now getting gapped, as we will really start to see the suffering begin. And without even noticing, it's inside 30 seconds. And now the look over the shoulders. Is this a counterattack? This is. UAE now being forced to chase. Or is this them catching Pithy? Yes, it is. Hello. Nice to see you guys again. And now UAE drilling it, trying to just shed as many riders as they can. Wellens pumping the pedals in anger now. And now it's just a war of attrition. See how many guys you can drop, see who can stay see who can stay with you. And then when the time is right, the rainbow stripes will go. And then if anyone can stay with Pogačar, he will hit you again and again and again. So strung out as they make their way up the climb. IPT is your Premier Tech rider there. Alaphilippe sitting on Pogačar's wheel. Quinn Simmons sitting on Alaphilippe's wheel. The attack in the waning few moments. Inside 95 kilometers to go. Vermeesh hanging on to the back, but large group is closing on him inside. If someone's going to commit to an attack, they'd better commit to it. But it does, the death knell does ring when riders are just trying to stay on the wheel, and those riding the attacks, trying to launch them, just if nobody's working with them, it's a futile effort. And so it's Mauro Schmidt on the front right now. Lafay. That was quite the setup there. That's a big target. I'm watching for where the bidons can go, and whoever made that with the hoop and the net, make it as easy for them as possible. And so, small round of applause for that one. There is Pithy back on, sitting at the back. See how much longer he can stay in there. And now here comes a counter. It's Jan Tratnik trying to go. The one remaining Ineos rider. Andrew August trying to join him. Mauro Schmidt there. I'm not sure how much support Tratnik is going to get. If anything, it is going to potentially shed some riders from that lead group. And so those who can remain may be able to stay and work. Tratnik, Schmidt. And one of the EOF Education Easy Post riders who either Baudin or Sweeney. Dorian Godon, the French champion, in trouble on the back. Cofidis rider with Alex Arenburu struggling on the back too. Let's see, it looks like it's 4. So it's Tratnik, Schmidt, Baudin or Sweeney, and Emirates, Sveestad, Bordsang also making the selection, as now we're going to really start to lose riders off the back. 101, French champion Dorian Godon. Is that Peo Bilbao? It is. So runner-up next year, struggling. So Peo Bilbao, the Bahrain victorious rider, second last year, not able to match the tempo here. And so he looks like he was being in the group getting shed off the back, and looks like some of the riders from the breakaway are managing to close. A couple riders dropped. August, the American, leading the counter to try to bridge back up. I think they're going to do it. Nice work by him. But are they prolonging the inevitable? You would have to feel it. Some riders off the back struggling to stay on. Johan Jacobs, Swiss rider for Groupama FDJ. Zacharias Luland from Uno X, the Norwegian. Again, a group reforms, but it is reduced. It's Mauro Schmidt, Harry Sweeney. And there is his teammate getting caught. Under 30 seconds as the moves and counter moves begin in earnest. It is Harry Sweeney being caught. So it's Alex Baudin still in the front group. Tratnik still leading the way. Here's the front group. Schmidt, Jorgen Nordhagen, Andrew August, Jan Tratnik, Victor Lafay, Alex Baudin, Frank Vandenbroek, Emirates Sveestad, Bordsang, and Marius Meyerhofer. Not giving up the fight inside 90 kilometers now. Tratnik did a good spell on the front. Now it's time for someone else to go to work, but who can? A lot of these riders have been there since the beginning. It's Lafay taking it up. And Wellens. We do see Simon Yates was there for Visma Lisa bike. And there is Peo Bilbao. Is he able to get back on? Afonso Eulalio, who was the best young rider in Quebec, along with him. And it looks like they've been able to make it back on. There's Michael Matthews, number 11, number 101, Dorian Gaudin. We're all feeling it right now. I feel like it's just a matter of time because there are still a lot of laps to go, even though the drama begins now. Prix Cycliste de Montréal. The valiant effort by the men in front, still hanging on as we come down to 85 kilometers to go. Just under 24 seconds though. While you were with Jonas Abrahamsen of UnoX Mobility, he had a bike change. There's Girmay. Day's done. Look out! He had a wasp around him. He's still there. It's a waspy time of year in Montreal. And they're just the wasps. Believe the story with them is they've done their child rearing for the season, and now they're just looking for sweet and protein things as they go through the final weeks of life. But it means picnics and patio meals are a bit disrupted anyway. Science, 85 to go now. Nine riders remaining in the lead group. Tim Wellens almost single-handedly responsible for deciding when this group comes back. Sure, it's all part of the team plan. He will go until a certain point, until he can't go anymore, and then the next teammate will take over, and so on. There's Dorian Gaudin. The instantly recognizable tricolore. He's actually jumping over to the Ineos Grenadiers next year is Gaudin. Won the national road championships in Les Herbiers back before the Tour de France. Who's left? Who's got anything left to give at this point? Alex Baudin, 24-year-old, winner of the Tour de Limousin last year. He rode the Tour this year. Finished 10th in the young rider, best young rider classification, 46th overall. And two more riders who have been dropped, getting caught right now. Is Matthias Meyerhofer Jorgen Nordhagen. Nordhagen in particular, a long time on the front. The front group keeps getting smaller and smaller, and the field keeps getting smaller and smaller. The selections will start to be made soon. Mechanical to wheel change for the Arkea B&B Hotels rider. I believe that was Mathis Lebert, it is. Unfortunate time on the climb to suffer a mechanical, just waiting for the wheel change instead of the full bike change. driver can latch back on for as long as he can, but the gap eking back out a little bit. About half a minute again. The double arm twitch to indicate someone else take the turn. There once again is Laurentian. The Ferris wheel. And the Vieux-Paul Montréal, the old port. Not only the road race champion of Switzerland, he is also the time trial champion. And so I'm not sure if that gets you two separate kits. It'll benefit if you just have one, because it's a skin suit either way that they wear for both road races and time trials now. And if he just has one to worry about, it saves on laundry, I suppose. But Schmidt out sprinting Mark Hirschi of Tour de Pro Cycling, the Swiss road race champions, at the end of June. It took place in Fischingen, which is pretty much due east of Zurich. Switzerland's a beautiful country. Just a random aside. That's Christophe Laporte. His day is done. The former European champion. A strong rider. I've seen him a lot in those Belgian classics, the one-day races, but his time in Montreal is done. This Victor Lafay also getting swept up now. 1 by 1 and 2 by 2, they went away. Get the lead group. Still a few hanging off out there, and it's actually expanding even more. 40 seconds, but you'd have to figure this is all by design for UAE, setting it all up. There is Jonas Abrahamsen. He was able to close back up. Tough effort from him, tough chase for him. Didn't think he had many teammates to help him back. There's Frederick Dversnes from the second group that joined the breakaway. Now Abrahamsen now going up to the front. Still working together. Baudin on the front right now. Tratnik, Schmidt. Sveistad Bordsang. The Jacques Cartier Bridge. So it's all in the same area. So Laurentian is there. We're sort of hovering over the south shore. You look back. Off in the distance, you see the oratory. That's where we are essentially. Well, we're at the bottom of the mountain, just off downtown. Oh, that other Ferris wheel was not Laurentian. That was right. It was La Vieux-Paul. So there are multiple Ferris wheels to worry about here. Coffee table book. The Ferris wheels of Montreal. 80 kilometers to go now. Picking them off one by one. Sivakov also right there. Nevaya's there. I see the Red Bull helmet. Wout van Aert. I see Alaphilippe. I see the slightly unzipped jersey that Simon Yates usually has. He is there. But what it's just doing is just shedding riders. And so any other team who were hoping to set someone up for an attack, they're just missing their opportunities. There's Lafay, now shed from the main group. Well, he seems happy. Maybe he's just happy that the suffering is over. This has been a difficult day in the saddle, a lot of climbing. Tratnik retakes the front. So many strong Slovenian riders. Tratnik, Moric, Pogačar. When he goes to the World Championships in Rwanda next month, we'll have Primož Roglič working for him. Has been there for a long time. Seconds is where they have it. I wouldn't imagine it would get much bigger, barring any unforeseen drama. It's John Badanethea. Legs bandaged up there. Maybe he went down the other day? It's all kind of blurring together. Anyway. Still seems to be in accord right now. Revolving through, taking very short turns at the front. Last few guys there. Nobody seems to be completely stuck on the back just yet. Everybody is working, and there is the parkour. There's a look on the bottom, the two pins indicating where they are. Ahead of the race, and the peloton. Just a couple hundred meters separating them. So there will be the ascent again of the Avenue Pagnuelo, starting right now. Then they'll dive down and head towards l'Avenue du Parc, alongside the Jean Mans Park. Pull that hairpin and tick off another lap. Still too early to start to dream that the breakaway will stay away, though. But they'll keep up the effort, I have no doubt. Wellens has been on the front for close to 25 kilometers. Taking the baton, so to speak, from Niels Pullet, who is doing a lot of the pulling for UAE, but Van Aert's still in the mix. Quinn Simmons is there, Alaphilippe is there. But that face on Tim Wellens, he might just be running out of steam, and then it would be time. I think that's Pavel Sivakov to take over. At the back, there's Jorgen Nordhagen, who was in the break for so long, struggling to remain on. Karius Luland. Frederick Dversnes. There is Badanethea able to get back on. Mauro Schmidt. 6 riders remain. Emirates faced that at Bordseng. Another one of the riders who's been there from the beginning. Frank van den Broek. Picnic Post NL from Warmond. Netherlands, winner of the Tour of Turkey last year, 2 times Tour de France stage winner, including this year. Sorry, second, 2 times second in the Tour de France. Soon to tick another one off. The small relief being almost done another lap, keeping the main field at bay, but it's ticking back down to 30 seconds. Inside a kilometer to go on this lap. Sun's moved over a little bit, so not so much in full sun anymore. Some shade is creeping in, which will help. Not that it's been too hot today, at least so far as I know. Yeah, it's low 20s, so it's pretty comfortable all told. Of course, it's easier for me to say it, but it's not one of those scorching hot days in the saddle that a lot of these guys face. Feel up, Schmidt coming. Get something. Oh, missed the gel. And Baudin opting not to get anything. And in the background, and there they are. Narvaez fueling up on the front. Handoff for Alaphilippe. Oof. Almost 2 coming together there. Big wobble in the middle of the field. That's why so many riders like to stay at the front. Whenever those incidents can happen. Usually sort of in the middle of the back of the pack. 6 to go. Enough time to read that. Inside 75 now. Look at the back of the group. Luca Vergalito was still there. He was the one who was in the breakaway for so long in Quebec, one of the groups of 4. Philippe Mathieuc was also there, as well as 2 of the Canadians, Philippe Jacob and Félix Bouchard. They made up the break of the day in Quebec. Another time. Up the voie, Camillon Oud. Montréal. Inching down a little bit more, 23. Be interesting to see if someone tries to launch an attack and bridge up to this group. And that's the end of Tim Wellens. His work is done. The salt staining around the kit. Black just does not hide it, does it? That's from sweat, folks. And here goes Baudin. As the group closes in, wonder if this is the time they're going to bring it all back together. That's the end of the day, it looks like, for the American. Andrew August, Ineos Grenadiers. Great day's work for him, for the young man. Marius Meyerhofer. Now just enjoying a wonderful ride on a nice day up the Mont-Royal. But he'll still get some applause too, so good for the ego. Thank you, folks. Thank you. And Tratnik, he's not tucking in. Is that it for Jan Tratnik? It may be, if he can slot in there. But Alex Baudin trying to just keep it going for as long as possible. And it's Michael Matthews. I believe the term is peddling squares. It's just a handful left. Alex Baudin. Sitting on the front, delaying the inevitable, prolonging the agony, but he goes again. Everyone else is swept up, but Baudin will just try to get over the climb one more time. Another look over the shoulder. And I do wonder if he says, you know what, Warren Barguil done for Picnic Post NL. This is just shedding riders off the back now. That's Lucas Eriksson. In front of him, a couple of IPT riders. And I might have seen the head tilt of Hugo Uhl there as well. Whenever he's putting in an effort, Uhl likes to sort of almost tilt his head sideways. I might have seen that struggling off the back of the pack, but don't want to confirm it without actually seeing it. So now the groups just keep getting smaller. Baudin, it's just defiance for him right now. That's Pavel Sivakov on the front, Brandon McNulty behind him, and that's the end of the break. Baudin, so with 70 kilometers to go, almost 71, the field is, I would say complete again, but it's not. But this is the main group, and look at that, it is a very, very reduced group. Sivakov, McNulty on the front. And it is Uhl. And that's actually Joe Blackmore with them. So the winner of the Tour de l'Avenir last year. Climbs just a bit too much for him. Going to try to regain a group right there. This is going to be a big question. Who will be the top Canadian today? It was Uhl in Quebec. There's not much of the main field remaining. They've been on the start list, and it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. It's not that many anymore. So Pogačar still has 3 in front of him. Sivakov, McNulty, and Narvaez. Quinn Simmons on his shoulder. Alaphilippe also there. Simmons has one teammate, I believe, with him from Lidl Trek. Now we'll see if the looking around begins. Pogačar, you would have to say, in a pretty comfortable position. So many of these riders left just don't have teammates left. And it is a small group, and so now the pace drops, and so that might allow some riders to get back on, but when the pace drops, that means attacks could happen. Simmons has Matthias Jensen with him. Arkea still has Ewan Kostiu. And still have a couple riders there. Bahrain has a few, IPT has a few. Let's look at Antonio Pedrero. And is this an attack off the front from a Lotto rider, or is it that's Arnaud Delis? This might be part of the Gruppetto now. There's Florian Lipovitz right there. Number 64 in big danger. So third place in the Tour de France. Not sure where that group was actually on the run, though. That might be off the back entirely. It's UAE just drilling it. Just the tactics that they are able to do. Look at the Université de Montréal. Established in 1878, 147 years ago. Yesterday, spoke about it the day before, and now I'll speak about it the day after. Yesterday was the 266th anniversary of the Plains of Abraham. So those riders off the back. We'll hope that a slowdown in the pace will allow them to tag back on for another little while. But Sivakov is now tasked with pulling. I would imagine all going to plan for UAE Team Emirates XRG. Now here's a look at those scrapping to stay on, and yeah, that is Lipovitz well off the back. That's third in the Tour de France there. One of the young revelations. Scrapping to get back into the mix. Antonio Pedrero, another Spaniard in front of him. Lipovitz, a German.
for the super domestique. Sivakov, belated last second, was allowed to race for the podium when Pogačar was not able to chase, picking up second place. And then today, back working for his team leader, drilling it at the front. Of noise just keeps growing every time they go past. Montreal out in full voice. Now they're inside 65 kilometers. Looks like that second group is the one that includes Lipovitz at about half a second. That one I imagine will just tick upwards unless the UAE riders decide, okay, let's take it back a little bit. But the plan is to just drop the hammer here and just shed as many riders as they can. What it does is a lot of the teams, you look at Simmons, you look at other teams, I don't think Wout van Aert is there anymore. I don't see any of the yellow-clad Visma Lease bike riders. But when they don't have teammates to help them out, they're just on their own, and goes without saying, there's Aina Rubio done for Movistar. So stage winner, 2023 Giro d'Italia. Pretty fair climber. He has Dorian Godon with him. A lot of big names of the sport suffering in Montreal. So when you don't have teammates with you, you don't have anyone to, of course, do the work for you on the front. Quinn Simmons shaking out the back there. No one to share drinks, no one to share things to eat, all that gels. And so just leaving riders exposed while he has his teammates with him. Of course, then if there's a mechanical, no teammate to hand over their bike to you. Alaphilippe still in the mix. Some of the riders that have been dropped, among them just crossing the line there. Valentin Paré-Peintre, Soudal Quickstep. Surpassed more than 150 kilometers done. Just over 60 to go. Still on the front, Pavel Sivakov. Brandon McNulty behind him as UAE Team Emirates XRG just puts their stamp on the front of the race. Baudin. Alex Baudin swept up amongst the field. Mauro Schmidt too. They're able to hang in there. I see Filippo Zanna for Jaco Alula, former national road race champion of Italy. I believe that was the same year. I believe Zanna won the same year Filippo Ganna won the time trial. It was a confusing time. Zanna and Ganna. Though Ganna has the extra N, so Zanna. There is Alaphilippe. The winner the other day. Is he in line to do the double? Proved the naysayers wrong 2 days ago. Sitting right behind Alexander Kamp of Intermarché Wanty. And right next to him, Alberto Bettiol, who's third. So all the podium from Quebec is here, still in the front group. Sivakov, with the work he was doing, I wouldn't give him odds to repeat on the podium. That is Yates, who has called it a day. Simon Yates. His brother, the winner in 2023. we say goodbye. One of the early breakaway riders, Emirates Sveistad Bordsang. Very good work for him. Arkea B&B Hotels. Talking about teams facing relegation. Arkea, I believe, is on the outside looking in. There's the best young rider in Quebec. Also struggling, Afonso Eulalio, a Portuguese rider. Mauro Schmidt now also being distanced. Just once you see that gap growing, I think it's so hard to close when you've made an effort like that. Eulalio, Bahrain victorious. Just so labored now. Alexander Kamp, Danish rider. Intermarché Wanty, rumors with them potentially merging with Lotto for next year. Combine the Belgian teams. But you just have to feel it's all going to plan for Pogačar. So just looking at the top 18, I believe Intermarché Wanty is ranked 18th right now. And it's Alaphilippe struggling off the back. Lulu just not able to match it here. And he's riding with Paul Lapera and Mauro Schmidt. Lapera, AG2R, La Mondiale in front of them. That's Aaron Gate, New Zealand rider. Also rides on the track, but just getting back to Arkea briefly, they're 21st right now in the World Tour standings, and so such little in the season left. It's going to be very tough for them. I don't know how the math works out, but let's get back to the front of the race. And so UAE Team Emirates drilled to perfection right now, just dropping riders as they go, all the while just quick peeks of the rainbow jersey. Forget red alert, it's going to be rainbow alert time soon enough. Given the reduced field, who's left to match it? Just a few months, that might all be frozen. Black. No, it's just being drilled back, and that's the group with Alaphilippe and Mauro Schmidt. Catching Vandenbroek, and it's just, nobody's even needed to attack. Pogačar has not had to go on the attack because his team just keeps shedding riders. There's an Israel Premier Tech rider there. Simmons is just glued to the back of Pogačar's wheel. Narvaez is in reserve, almost right behind him. Simmons shaking the neck out. The toll this time in the peloton or on a bike takes on your shoulders and back. Never mind the legs. That's Pello Bilbao. Bahrain victorious. This is not a front group. It's Ewan Kostiw on the front right now. Filippo Zanna with him. Scrap just to stay on the back. Alberto Bettiol is still there. There's Adam Yates. There's Madouas. Tish Benoot right in front of him for Visma Lease a Bike. There is Madouas. That battle with Evenepoel in that finishing circuit, the Paris Olympics. The crowd on the Butte de la Montmartre in front of the Sacré-Cœur. Incredible atmosphere. It was one of the best tickets in the Olympics, and fans did not have to pay a cent for those ones. They did have to get there early though, and that's Michael Matthews' day coming to an end as battered men call it a day. The winner 2018, 3 times the winner in Quebec. And up we go again. Sivakov still in front of McNulty. Tish Benoot is the only rider left from Visma Lease bike. Back on the campus of the Université de Montréal. Not giving up the fight, Alaphilippe in there, Mauro Schmidt. A couple remnants of the breakaway as well. Alexander Kemp, Frank Vandenbroek. Denton Charmig, one of the final breakaway riders from Quebec City, in as well. The XDS Astana rider. Now the big question, when does Pogačar go? When does he just decide enough is enough? His team has ridden off most of the riders, most of his rivals. And when just does he decide to finish it off? Remember, the World Championships start in a week. Pogačar will be there to try to defend his title. And in this kind of form, you would have to imagine the odds are pretty good for the rainbow jersey to remain with one man for another year. So it's the second group on the road, 18 seconds. Schmidt, Lapera, Charmig, Vandenbroek, Kemp, and Alaphilippe. I mean, any let up in the field, and they could still close it, but at this point, it's all just going to be drilled. So one of the volunteers on the side collecting the garbage. This must be the waste area. I always appreciate the work done by the people who make races like this happen. Now, Alaphilippe even struggling to stay with the second group, it seems, maybe. Ride the World Championships, Pogačar won't wear the rainbow jersey. He'll be in his Slovenia kit. So it might be the one time this year, save for time trials, when he'll wear a different jersey. And in this kind of form, with this kind of performance, you would have to think that he might not have to get used to doing different laundry. Able to bridge back. I have seen that Wout van Aert has now abandoned the race, so there's not going to be any sort of showdown, although Van Aert already talking about how he's going to design his 2026 program. He said he hasn't ruled out doing 2 Grand Tours again, but he said with the World Championships here, that will figure into how he designs what races he goes into in 2026. If you are new to this, cycling teams have a couple dozen riders. There are races all over the world. I believe there were like 3, 4 pro men's races today. Pro women's race also going on today. I think they're closing it up, aren't they? And maybe it's just an optical illusion. Either way, and so not every rider does every race. Teams are distributed throughout the various races throughout the year, and so they get their programs drawn up. And so See what Van Aert does. This might provide us a better look if they are closing it up. I think Camp is closing. He's trying to bridge back, and he might just do it. Oof. It's close. I'm not sure. Yeah, the gap is coming down officially. But might it be false hope with more climbing still to come? It's Alaphilippe leading the chase. And he noticed his tactics of sitting in the draft when he was in that second group on the road for so long. He just rode across the wheels when riders would drop off each time. He just rode up to get on the next wheel in front of him. And, hey, it worked for him. Yates has now moved to the front. He was sitting back in the middle of the field. And now I think he's jumping up to sit third wheel ahead of Pogačar. Mount Royal Cross, 33 meters high, 10 meters wide. 1,830 pieces of metal and 6,000 rivets. It weighs 26 tons. 240 light bulbs lighted up at night. Which is a height of 251 meters in altitude. And on a good day, you can see it from 80 kilometers away. We'll get back on downtown Montreal. Perhaps one final breath before we drive into the finish. Yates is up there, so Pogačar has all his lieutenants. Three up, one back. Sivakov, McNulty, Yates, and behind him is Narvaez. So we'll see if anyone can provide any disruption as they come up to the feed zone and tick off yet another lap. Just under 50 kilometers to go. The only Visma Lisa bike rider there. Simmons has some help. He's a picnic post NL rider. Let's see if it's Oscar Alba. It is. So fourth from the Tour de France. Is still there. Alaphilippe's group still chasing. 13 seconds down. Oh, it's just agonizingly close, isn't it? Between 50 and 100 meters. Still a healthy mix of climbing to be done, though. 4 to go. Question. I'll ask it, but then it will hang over us. When does Pogačar attack? There's no need to, really. He has all his four of his teammates with him, who are just going to bury themselves and drop off any other riders that they can. That's all that's left. Middle of your picture, that's all that's left of the peloton. There's that group that is trying to close it. We'll see how much they burn trying to get that gap. Going up the Mont Royal, the Voie Camillien Oud. 1.8 kilometers, 8% average on the climb. There's no shake of the legs. There's no tighten of the shoes. Philippe fighting to stay in touch with his group. Pain personified on his face. His admirers around the world of cycling. Animator of so many races over the years. Silenced some of the doubters a couple of days ago. Sivakov is suffering, but right behind him, McNulty looking very composed. What point does Sivakov pull off? To hear about the tactics UAE is deploying. They say just drawing up how far each guy will be on the front. Yates has been moved into the front there. The truck still is Matthias Jensen alongside Quinn Simmons. The IPT, the Israel Premier Tech rider, is actually Riley Sheehan, the American rider. He's been a race winner before. Big one came in Paris Tour when he was still just a stagiaire, essentially not even signed to the pro team yet. Bit of a surprise, and frankly, he's still hanging in. Pretty impressive. For the big mountains, so far as I know. One of two Rileys on Israel Premier Tech, the other being Riley Sheehan, the Canadian. Sorry, Riley Pickrell. This is Riley Sheehan. Riley Sheehan from Boulder, Colorado. I wonder what the percentage would be with people who have baskets and various catching things to actually came away with bottles. Anyway, the race now going away from Alaphilippe. He has Paul Lepera still with him, but his former mates from the second group now disappearing up the road. This hill, the Mount Royal, part of the Monteregion Hills. It's between the Laurentian Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains. So the Laurentians, popular of course for mountain biking. More and more riders are going to the eastern townships on road bikes and getting in some good rides there. Think about cycling fans watching races, often the thought is, that looks like a nice place to ride my bike. Parachute is deployed for Alaphilippe. Paul Lepera also. Otto Schmidt still going on. He was in, became the breakaway, but he's also struggling. Frank Vandenbroek spent a lot of time up front. Anton Charmig really set up Bettiol's third place performance in Quebec City, also feeling it. A couple more times to go up that climb. I believe it's 3. Massive Mount Royal Cemetery there. 165 acres. '52 when it opened. Dedicated areas also for veterans, sailors. Anyway, that's the big cemetery. You just saw going down the downhill. Still Sivakov drilling it on the front inside 45. Yanni Zagide. Behind Riley Sheehan. Vastly experienced cyclist stuff, and a lot of breakaways over the years. Anyway, hanging on to the back of the lead group. Only Sheehan in front of him. Alex Arenburu also in that group for Cofidis. EF Education Easy Post has a couple of riders in there. I haven't really said anything about Nielsen Paulus today. American rider. Alex Baudet is the last of the main break riders to throw in the towel. Alexander Camp did end up bridging there. That's 154. So he was in that second group when Alaphilippe was in it, and he's managed to bridge it back. Not too sticky, the bottle and the gel. Still, look at all the help that he has. Not sure if that was from what he got his feet or if he is actually feeling it right now. Is this a procession for the world champion, or is someone going to upset? There is Nielsen Paulus, 114. He has Mikel Honore with him. Little change to the lead group. Since you've been gone, Peo Bilbao, runner-up last year, though, did have a mechanical. He was waiting for his team car for a bit, but there's a convoy of cars, and so he had to wait a decent enough long time. And that is Oscar Onley just hanging on to the group for now. But Bilbao had to wait, and then there was a bit of a wait to get the bike off his car, and so he did get it back. Did get back on the road. But the gap at this time of the late in the game, I imagine might be too late for him, but that's Oscar Onley in difficulty, just able to hang on. So, gonna be quite a different podium from last year. No Alaphilippe, likely no Bilbao. Perhaps he will come back again if there is a let up in the pace, but he dropped off quite a bit and then had to wait, so we'll see. That's Onley, who was one of the young revelations of the tour from Kelso in Scotland. Just 22 years old. Stage in the Tour de Suisse, which had a pretty steep finish last climb. Of riders is a much reduced field, but the number of riders still able to stay on. We haven't shed too many in the last little bit. Quel Honore there, Filippo Zanna. Alexander Kemp, Intermarché Wanty with the yellow and orange or red arms. We're going to come around to see 3 to go in just a little bit. Still Sivakov drilling things at the front. Corbin Strong is still in the mix there. Interesting. If it were to come down to a sprint, he does have the legs. Track cyclist, he would have he's ridden a couple times in Canada on the track at that Milton Velodrome just outside Toronto. Did manage to work his way back up to the field, up to the front rather. He was sitting behind Matthias Jensen with Simmons. So all the UAE riders eschewing the feeds this time around. Missed opportunity there. And at this stage of the game, how much might a missed feed do? He has 5 in the front. Teams were allowed 7. Niels Pollitt, who took a long pull at the front. Tim Wellens took over. Now it's Sivakov, who second yesterday, or Friday, Quebec City. 3 to go. We'll see Marouas for Groupama FDJ. You do not have to work. That's Kemp, who fought valiantly to get back. But now he succumbs to the pace on this climb. You have a teammate going, you say it's up to everybody else. I'm just gonna sit here. There's no way I'm chasing my teammate back. McNulty, the only to respond. There is Intermarché Wanty rider. That's Louis Barret closing the gap. That rider on the left out of the mix right now, not able to hang on that wheel. But Barret stuck in the middle. Is he able to bridge? The 25-year-old from Nantes has never won a professional bike race so far as I know. Sheehan in difficulty. Trying to stay on. Baudin is still hanging with that group. That's impressive feat considering how long he was on the front. Now Pogačar moves. Who's with them? Who can stay with them? As we zoom out, the answer is nobody. He's closing in on Barret. And all he's gonna do, probably with his teammate on the front, is just sit on that wheel. Let Barret do the work. Of course, he has the strength to probably go again. But Pogačar bridges to Barret, and let's see if he goes again. McNulty and Simmons. It's Pogačar out of the saddle, about 35 kilometers to go. Is this the launch? What it has done, it's winnowed the field down, and McNulty could still work for his teammate. What Barret needs to do, if he wants will be a famous result, is to just stay on that wheel. Simmons won't do anything. I would imagine staying on that wheel, and if Pogačar counter punches, Simmons will try to join him. Barret just doesn't have the legs to stay with it. They're nearing the top of the climb though, and so bit of a reprieve potentially on the downhill. Two UAE Emirates XRG riders, two Americans, one Slovenian, and one rider from France, Intermarché Wanty's Louis Barret. That's a fantastic ride for him. Lead group of four as they start the downhill on the first climb of the lap. Just tapping down the powder right now. Small blast of fireworks went off. There's much more to come. And they've put the time check up 23 seconds to whatever is left of a second group. Pogačar deciding to chase down and mark Louis Barret. And so still, he has one teammate to work with him. Two options to not only go for the race win, go for the podium, but also just to provide assistance. But McNulty been riding pretty well. He was riding for the US in Baltimore last weekend. And that was because UAE did not enter in that race, but he still rode for the US team entered, sort of like here how we had a Canadian team entered. That's the end of the day for the former world champion, the winner 2 days ago. Congratulations, and here we go. McNulty really did soften things up. He attacked to just shed a bunch of riders. This is the second group on the road. There is Tish Benoot in yellow. I believe that's Nielsen Paulus, the American, with him. And that is Oscar Onley, who was just not able to match it. He was struggling earlier. Sivakov, his work is done. Now he'll just settle in and soak up the draft. Job done for him. Quinn Simmons now, presuming McNulty is still driving it for Pogačar. Once Pogačar goes, Simmons try to respond as quickly as possible. He is just almost consolidating right now. Just enjoying the brief lull. Counterattack coming. Alpecin to Kunik. CS Astana, I think that might be Betio. And Onley, the pedals going a little bit slower now. Pedal stroke of the man who has done all he can. Back to the front. McNulty still has some to give. But all the while, his teammate just has to follow. We'll await that moment. I believe last year, Pogačar went with 2 laps to go. And if it ain't broke, Why bother fixing it? You might see that again. 21 stage wins in the Tour de France. Six stage wins in the Giro, 3 in the Vuelta. World champion last year. Yeah, you can just read all of his palmares off the screen in front of you. Trying to close it. Will not give up the fight. Also trying to race for top 10 places. You want to keep dropping riders. I believe when Pogačar won the Flèche Wallonne a few years ago, which finishes on a climb called the Mur de Huy. Very short, very steep. And there is, I'll come back to that story, that mural dedicated to Hugo Hull, his 2022 stage win. You'll likely not get many more emotional moments than that. Hull winning the Tour de France stage. It was from Carcassonne into Foix. Mountainous stage broke away, and Michael Woods in the break with them. Hull won solo ahead of Valentin Madouas. Pointed to the heavens, his late brother. Two of them used to talk about cycling, Tour de France. It was the same day Woods came third. I don't think that's ever been done before. 2 Canadians in the top 3 of the Tour de France stage. Anyway, the story, the Flèche Wallonne, ends on the Mur de Huy, a famous short climb, very, very steep. And it's what you love about it is it's in just essentially a neighborhood, one of the Ardennes Classics races. And it was here Woods, I believe, came 4th. On the social media post, he said 4th overall, 3rd human. He's, of course, referring to that man riding away to win the Flèche Wallonne, one of many, many, many palmares on his resume, and I'm sure lots more to come, including perhaps today. Narvaez there, but he doesn't have to work. So when you're trying to chase, it's completely disrupted when there's a guy who's not going to work. Doesn't have to. There's 2 guys up there, and you don't want to lead the chase back to a teammate. Just like Pogačar the other day tried to lead a counter, but no one wanted to work with him, and he says, okay, I've got a teammate in the breakaway. I am not going to bring you guys back, tire me out, so that you could beat my teammate on the line. There is Madouas, the Olympic silver medalist from Paris. He is from Brest, going up northwest in France. Stretch in the back. When does he strike? Simmons now letting Baffet lead the chase of McNulty. Wondering if Simmons is deciding to be right near the man. Shedding riders to claim positions. Of course, all of these teams are still trying to get UCI points as we come down to the end of the season. Positions may or may not be secured for those World Tour licenses at the end of the year. Alex Baudin, he's done a lot of work today. Mikel Honore, his teammate in front of him. But now when does... The big question, I'll keep asking it, and I apologize, but when? That's Nielsen Paulus, then the American on the front. Sivakov doesn't have to do anything. He's on the right. Narvaez also there, doesn't have to do anything. Onley is in that group, and Baudin finally, it's just agony right now. It's all just muscle memory. He was the last remaining of those who were in the break. Quick chat on the radio. Can I go now? Can I go now? They will see 2 to go. Once again, thanks so much for joining us. We get to bring you the Grand Prix Cycliste de Montréal. Stream being brought to CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca. The shake of the legs, we saw that the other day. There's Alaphilippe who did it. Just trying to, I don't know if there's much scientific proof how much lactic or fatigue that does shake out, but might that be that the attack comes the next time we go up? At this point, we do know it's coming. Barring any unforeseen fatigue in the best cyclist in the world. Louis Barret, fantastic job for Intermarché Wanty. For a team that's just hanging into the top 18. It'll be a big, big infusion of points for them. He was 68th 2 days ago. Gold earlier this year. Finished 3rd in a one-day race for Paris Camembert. It's not one of the higher ranked races, not a World Tour race, but he finished right behind Paul Seychelles, who kind of talking about the next big thing in French cycling. It is amazing that Pauline Ferrand-Prévot winning the Women's Tour de France this year broke a 40-year streak of France not winning its home race. The men's drought will continue for another year, but it is on the Tour de France. And then Quinton Hermans is there from Alpecin de Koenig. He's slated to go to Q36.5. Getting that set up on TikTok. Here we go. 2 left in Montreal. And it's not a long wait. Quick descent, and then we're on to the climb. It's not a long climb. Paulus dramatically pulling off to the other side of the road. Other guys can work now, and I'm wondering if he's done all he can today. Race for 5th, potentially out of this group, unless it starts to fracture one of the last 2 times. Now McNulty out of the saddle, Barret with him. This crowd that has been growing louder all day long. Got a pretty prime spot there. On the voie, Camillien Houde. Doesn't look bothered at all, does he? Going with the white shorts. You have the world champion. I think you can go black or white. He's going with white. Oh, well, now the second group has fractured. Is this setting it up, and now there is a counterattack coming from the second group, as the climb has really fractured things up. I believe that's Paulus Honore setting things up for him, trying to go for 5th place. He'll have him to get off his bike and run this time in Maryland last weekend. He's right in the mix. Had a puncture. Barret struggling. Anyway, Paulus had to run up to his team car, and he couldn't get a wheel change from the neutral service. And Barret, it's too much for him. Might this be our podium? 2 Americans, a rider from Slovenia. Could 4th place be back in play now? And Pogačar, now he's off. Can Simmons respond? This is the moment. You cannot let him get very far away, and Simmons, I don't know if there's a reaction. Pogačar almost just easing off the front. If Simmons can't catch him now, he just has to keep it close to see if he can maybe get on the descent. But a rainbow alert in Montreal. Pogačar, off he goes. Doesn't look at all bothered. He's not just looking at Montreal here, but this is a statement to the world ahead of the World Championships. What he's wearing, he wants to keep. And that would mean the world champion coming into Montreal next year, but it wasn't even that explosive an attack. Did he even get out of the saddle? No, he just went. And let's see how Simmons can stem the losses going up the climb. Didn't even get out of the saddle. And if Simmons can keep it close, maybe try to close on the descent. Slight shoulder roll, but at this stage of the game, everybody's fatigued. And might it be just a victory lap for the world champion to repeat in Montreal and make it 3 wins in 4 years? Paulus now, is he going to close on Barret? Look at that, 2 UAE Emirates riders back there still. They could potentially just dominate the top 10. There's Mikel Honore. Bettiol feeling it too. Won't repeat on the podium here. 18 seconds. They've started the clock. Would love to see where Simmons is. The thing about Pogačar, even if Simmons close up, world champion will just hit him again, again, and again. So McNulty now can just sit in and ride in the wake by his compatriot. And Yates is the one marking Paulus as he went Costiou. I think he needs to keep going, get Arquet as many points as he can. Oh, but then is that a chain slip? I think he got it back on. Almost heard that. If you're a rider, you know that dreaded sound when the chain falls off. So just like last year, 2 to go, Pogačar goes. Simmons, even just to prevent this being a victory lap on the last lap. Winner last year. Winner-elect this year, perhaps. Tour de France winner for the 4th time this past summer. Adding to a long, long list of victories. One-day wins, the Strade Bianche, Tour of Flanders, Flèche Wallonne, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Now we'll add Montreal. In all likelihood. So the only person to beat him in one-day races this year, Mathieu van der Poel and Matthias Skelmoza and Filippo Ganna. It's all up to McNulty to lead the chase right now, and fortunately he doesn't have to see these aerial shots because it's just a long, long 17 seconds. Last year, Pogačar held on to beat Peo Bilbao by 24 seconds, and then Alaphilippe beat a group of riders 40 seconds down the road. Not big enough that he'll quite soak it in just yet. Is this an early preview of not only next year's race on this course, but next year's race in this city in the World Championships? He is a man almost single-handedly rewriting cycling's record book. And is it McNulty on his own in second? It is. There's Simmons. Simmons, not his day. Now he's scrapping to stay onto the podium. And the UAE Team Emirates XRG, a year to remember for them. So many race wins. And wouldn't this be an exclamation mark? First and second potentially in the World Tour race in Montreal. Not sure how McNulty might ride this. He wouldn't want to bridge back and bring back potential third place, or could Pogačar set up a formation finish for memorable pictures rather. But nah, he's just gonna ride it. Still hovering around 17 seconds. How far 17 seconds is now. That's a big gap. Simmons just wants to stay, or Simmons rather. McNulty just wants to stay as far enough in Simmons as possible. It's coming down to 15. Now, how do you ride this if you're a team? You obviously can't arrange things. So I wonder just how much is on the radio saying McNulty in behind. Simmons additional 20 seconds down the road to make it a 35 seconds behind Pogačar. Is the Star-Spangled American champion. Not long now until they get the bell, and what is largely a victory lap for this man. interesting to see who is going to be at those World Championships in Rwanda. You know he's going. And McNulty is closing back up on Pogačar. Now, how do you ride this as a team now? Yeah, Pogačar is letting him come. Is there going to be a shared situation over the line? There's one to go, but let's see how they play this. A team that is so dominant. Pogačar himself probably has more points than a lot of entire teams. The teams have announced who's going to be on their World Championship roster. Remco Evenepoel will go down there for Belgium. Pidcock, I believe, with Great Britain. Ben Healy, another interesting name for Ireland. Simmons now second group on the road, third overall. He's also going to the World Championships. Alongside Will Barta, Luc Lamperti, Kevin Vermaaka, Larry Warbass, Magnus Sheffield. That was very much a team victory for UAE. Straight out of the plan book, I'm sure, with Niels Pullet taking a long pull and the breakaway was off the front. Tim Wellens took over, then Sivakov, and McNulty was right behind him. So when McNulty attacked, a couple riders followed him. Pogačar was right there, and so these two, the strongest men on the day. I believe Simmons closing in a tiny, tiny bit. Inside 30 seconds, but victory formation for UAE in Quebec looking much, much more likely. This year, I believe has more than 11,000 points, UCI points. And the number of teams still getting World Tour cards are not even in 10,000. One more bottle, one more lap. Greg Van Avermaet to ring the bell. A victory lap for UAE, likely, but we'll see who ends up getting the victory. But UAE Team Emirates XRG on course to go 1-2. Simmons. You can see some of the chasers on the other side of the road there. Clifford Brimley? No. Trying to decide what it might look like. Anyway, he is a man of refined facial hair. 2 on the front. Start of the coat. De Montréal, one final time. Ne voit Camillien Oud. Pogačar try to drop his teammate. Will McNulty try to do the same? The era of UAE in men's road cycling. To celebrate just yet. Still got his work face on. Simmons will try the entire way, but it's just getting that little bit further behind. Interesting bidon shape they have. Aero, they have the Aero bikes, they have the Aero bottles too. A Belgian pro in the Lidl team car there, alongside Simmons. Pogačar now doing the work. So when 2 teammates approach the line first, oftentimes they celebrate together, and then the one will slightly be ahead of the other. Tactics by UAE drilled to perfection today. Simmons, 24 years old. Colorado. Proposed to his now fiancée on the Champs-Élysées as the Tour de France came to an end. He was one of the most animated riders going on the attack during that tour. He also did win a stage in the Volta a Catalunya this year, a stage in the Tour of Wallonia in Belgium. Won the overall in the Tour of Wallonia before, back in 2021. But yeah, he's been back, or not back-to-back. He won in 2025, and then he won U.S. National Road Race in 2023 as well. Very used. Even without those super teams, Pogačar, he's just a surreal talent. Simmons. Cars are still in the way, so it's not like they've been cleared out. He still has a healthy margin on the riders behind him. And into the Aero tuck. 70 kilometers an hour on the downhill. So that is the last time over the Mont Royal. Victory procession. Next will be the Chemin Polytechnique just a quick 780 meters, 6% average, 200 meter stretch touches 11%. So let's see if McNulty tries to launch an attack on his teammate. To soak it in one final time in La Belleville. Two very good races, two completely different races. Quebec City here in Montreal. Montreal had a whole lot more climbing. Quebec City, short, punchy kind of climbs. Very different race wins. One had Alaphilippe going on the attack to drop two riders to take a solo victory, and now this will be number 1 and number 2 bib numbers coming 1 and number 2 on the road. But how will they decide who wins? Be cool to see them just go side by side, take it up in an all-out sprint. 2-up sprint, go side by side, see who goes. McNulty from Phoenix, Arizona. A lot of winter riding done there. Not around, not so much around Phoenix. Tempe, Tulsa. No, Tulsa's Oklahoma. Sorry. Get your geography right down. Tucson is what I'm thinking of. A lot of winter riding around Tucson. A lot of people do camps down there, teams. McNulty from Phoenix. He also has a long list of race wins. He's been with Emirates since 2020. He joined from Rally Cycling, which is a North American-based team. He's signed with this squad through until 2027. Inside, 6 to go. Road is going to tilt upward again. Gallop has ballooned to over a minute for this man as they go by the Université de Montréal. So if McNulty does win, he would be the first American to win this race. And if Pogačar wins, it would be his third, and he would be the only person to have 3 wins in this race. McNulty did a lot of work. Now he's allowed to smile a little bit. How much of a ham is he going to be in the last 5K? Pogačar known to have a very easygoing personality. has large margins. He's dropped beat-ons for kids on the side of the road. McNulty won the 7-stage Tour of Poland this year. Including the time trial on the final stage in that race. The team has so many race winners. Juan Ayuso is another one, but he is on his way out, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be parting ways with them, but we also have Isaac Del Toro, the Mexican rider, and so just any race they're in, a wealth of options for this side. Really divvy up the wins among this team. Go up Avenue Pagniello. The whole road open to them. It's going all day long. Marker, 3 to go. And they'll drop off the Pagniello. And then they'll coast down the hill. And they'll get used to the hairpins. They'll get set for the final hairpin. Who is going to take it? UAE Team Emirates XRG 1 and 2. Will they contest a sprint? Will they raise both arms in victory? Quinn Simmons, the American, tried to break up the dominance, but I believe he's on course for a podium finish, 3rd place. He can't get a look behind him. He'll just go right back to the front and soak in the final few minutes of another dominant UAE performance, another dominant Tadej Pogačar performance. Look out, world. Pogačar's coming for the championship again. Now it's side by side. McNulty, now they can chat about, okay, what's gonna happen? It's all smiles now for Emirates. What are they planning? Give us a sprint. One final time, the descent. The turn onto the Avenue du Parc. A victory lap for UAE, a victory lap for Tadej Pogačar. Is he going to lead out McNulty? McNulty's lining up alongside him. 1 kilometer Flamme Rouge procession for these two. Around the hairpin one final time. And then we'll see what actually plays out here. Be interesting. It's Pogačar, it's McNulty, it's UAE. It's a back-to-back win for UAE, there's no doubt, but which one's gonna take it? How are they going to play this out? The world champion from Slovenia, the American rider. Side by side. It's not gonna be a full-out sprint. Chat between the two. Who's going to get that little bit of wheel over the line first? Job done, thumbs up, high fives. It's a win either way for UAE, but who will get the wheel over first? But it's a warning shot for the rest of the world. If you're looking for World Championships favorites, look at the guy who already has the jersey on his shoulder. Victory in Montreal for UAE, Team Emirates XRG. Arm in arm they go. Who gets that bit of the wheel over first? Pogačar aside. It is McNulty taking victory in Montreal. A true team win. Tactics played perfectly, and in the end, McNulty was there. He led the decisive attack that broke the group down to 4. And he gets the wheel over the line first. It's a 3rd place for Quinn Simmons of Lidl Trek. Get many victory formation races like that. Usually one a year or so, but UAE Team Emirates, the exclamation mark on a dominant season. Simmons will cross just over a minute down. Salutes the crowd. It was the last of the challengers, and it looks like it's Yates trying for 4th. He has Nielsen Paulus with him. 3 Americans in the top 5. Will Paulus come off the wheel? He will. Yates won't contest. Nielsen Paulus, EF Education Easy Post, looking like he'll get 4th. Adam Yates 5th. Louis Barret, fantastic result for the Intermarché Wanty rider. Paulus, then Yates. I believe that's Tish Benoot. First of the Visma Lisa bike riders. They'll be coming in 1s and 2s for a little while. 3 of the top 4, 3 of the top 5, pardon me, wearing that kit.
No, I'm good. Bye. I get out of the way. Good job, man. Guys.
For the minor places, I believe that's Alberto Bettiol. And that's Corbett Strong behind him. Jonathan Narvaez there as well. Cofidis. There's 2 riders there from Cofidis. Oscar Onley over the line. Sivakov ends up hanging in that second group there. They will soak it in. Arm in arm they go. And so Pogačar still just a two-time winner. McNulty, his first win in Montreal. Very much a team win. Alex Aranburu of Cofidis getting 8th. Corbin Strong jumps up for 9th, and Alberto Bettiol, podium in Quebec, 10th in Montreal. Simmons a valiant 3rd. It's a tough day in Montreal. The riders saying it's one of the toughest of the year. Climbing that's akin to the amount that they do in Grand Tours. Except this one, instead of long, steady climbs, this is up and down and up and down. And so just the efforts that pile up. One of our final looks at downtown Montreal. Looking west-southwest. Here's your top 10. McNulty takes the victory just ahead of Tadej Pogačar. Quinn Simmons of the US makes it 2 Americans on the podium. Nielsen Paulus makes it 3 Americans in the top 4. Adam Yates makes it 3 UAE Team Emirates XRG riders in the top 5. So Adam Yates 5th. Louis Barret, good result for Intermarché Wanty. Tish Benut 7th. Alex Aranburu 8th. Corbin Strong 9th. Alberto Bettiol rounding out the top 10 in 10th. McNulty will go along with wins this year in the Tour of Poland. The stage win on stage 7 at the Tour of Poland was a time trial win. And the last kilometer, just a chance for them to soak it in. They'd done the work. They dropped everybody else. McNulty was the one who launched the climb second last time. Or actually, it's the third last time. Up the Mont Royal. Reduced the group to 4. Originally, Pogačar ended up chasing Louis Barret. And so those two bridged up to make it 4. And then with 2 times to go, Pogačar didn't even get out of the saddle, stayed in the saddle and launched the decisive attack that dropped Quinn Simmons and McNulty. McNulty then dropped Simmons and made it a 1-2 for UAE. has quickly become a real favorite for a lot of riders. We'll get a double dose of it next year. The return of this race and then the World Championships. You see the results. Look off into the distance, the Olympic Park, the Olympic Stadium. Getting a pretty extensive redesign. A renovation, but the top 10 once again. McNulty, Pogačar, and Simmons. The top 3. I'll wait to see who was the best Canadian, actually. That's happened yet. That'll be the last final podium. So it's the top 3, best young rider under 23, and then best Canadian as well. This was the moment to look back at the day Pogačar had. Louis Barret had tried to bridge to the front 2. Pogačar joined them, and then on the very next lap, Pogačar went. Simmons couldn't follow, but McNulty managed to close that gap, and it made a formation finish for these two men, teammates. Was 4th, riding for the U.S. team in Maryland at the Maryland Cycling Classic about a week ago. Today he takes victory while riding for his pro outfit. Seneca there. Still hear from the podium as well. Before we sign things off, we'll get to see the podium presentations. At the Cathédrale de Montréal, Marie, Reine du Monde. That's what you're looking at right there. It's a national historic site. Built between 1870 and 1894. Quinn Simmons, who's actually going to be the first rider we'll hear from. We'll hear from him in just a few seconds.
Quinn Simmons, it was a tough one today. Tell us how tough it was, how difficult it was all day long.
Yeah, for me, I said at the start, this is one of the hardest one-day races in the world. And to be honest, I thought I was here to support Skelly. I didn't expect to even make it to the finish today. So, yeah, for sure, we got killed a bit by UAE. I think we're a bit used to this now here at this race. But, yeah, congrats to them, and it's pretty cool that 2 Americans are on the podium here.
What it means for you to finish third today behind McNulty and Tadej Pogačar?
Yeah, if you're gonna lose, it's okay to lose to these 2, I guess. And yeah, it's my best result in a World Tour one day. So to be on the podium, and I'm again doing it in the national colors. It's a super result, and it's one step forward for me.
Tell us, what was the feeling when you wasn't able to follow McNulty in not the last lap, but the last before? How did you feel, and did you think at this moment that you're going to lose the podium?
I think you can assume how it felt. If you've ever rode a bike, you've been dropped. It does not feel good, but yeah, in the end, it's third in a World Tour race. So of course we come here to win, but when you look at the start field and you look at who beat you, I can't complain too much to be third here.
Quinn, congrats.
Thank you.
Well done.
So they're sort of saying he's kind of plan B. They're supposed to go for Matthias Skelmoza. And he didn't think he would even get to the finish line. But that's also pretty good. So get the quick calories in there. This is where they get the quick sugars in as part of their recovery. And we're going to actually hear in just a few moments from our runner-up, Tadej Pogačar. Best ever one-day result for Quinn Simmons, the American. And he'll go to the World Championships in Rwanda on a high. Sounds like, from what I'm hearing, we may actually hear from the winner first, Brandon McNulty. I think they're still getting... You saw how many fans were down there. You saw how many photographers and other officials were down there. It's an operation. Now we're going to come up. Brandon McNulty.
Brandon McNulty, first of all, congrats for this win today. Tell us when the decision was made on the course today, because it was clear at the finish line that Tadej lets you win. When did you take the decision on the course?
Yeah, I think I was maybe 4 laps to go. He asked me if I wanted to try to go solo, and I said I can try. So yeah, then we made this move on the climb, and then it ended up in a group of 4, and then he wins, and yeah, then I was able to come across, and he waited for me, and then yeah, he was kind enough to give me the win. So. But yeah, we decided in the final, he decided to give it to me, so I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, it was a super fun day.
Tell us, what was the feeling in the last kilometers? Because you were smiling with Tadej, you enjoyed the moment at this moment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one, even when you go 1-2 with a teammate, but when he's world champion and obviously the best guy in the world, it's a super special to go across the line like that. So I was, yeah, one of the most memorable days of my career so far.
It was a total domination by your team today. Nils, Pavel, Tim, everybody works hard for you today. What is the feeling when you dominate like this on a race?
Yeah, I think it's super cool to see your teammates and friends pulling like this. I mean, we were in one line most of the day, and I was just watching these guys pulling super hard, and even behind, I was suffering and didn't even know if I was going to be able to continue at the speed we were going. But yeah, when you see them pull like that, it's a special motivation.
And the last one, it's the 85th win for your team this year. You tie the record for a season. What it means for your team, because it was clear, it was a record for you today with you and Tadej. What it means for the team?
I think it's special. I mean, yeah, I think obviously we were close last year, so it was a big goal of the team to have this record. So now we're tied. So I guess we need one more to break the record. But I think I guess I didn't even realize I was the one to tie this. So that's a really cool statistic, I guess.
Brandon, thank you and congrats again.
Thank you.
85th win for the team this season. And you know what? They're still racing to come. Would give them pretty good odds to break that record. And we'll now hear from the world champion.
Tadej Pogačar, you finished second today, close to the win. The crowd is really happy to see you again on the podium. Tell us how the decision was made on the course to go for the win with Brandon.
Yeah, I saw that he's very strong. I mean, all the team was super strong today, and we reduced the bunch quite fast in the race because we ride a super hard pace. And then, yeah, I told Brandon if he want to go on the attack, he can go. And then I joined him on the top of the climb, and we tried. We go together, and then yeah, when I was alone, he bridged across to me, and yeah, it was quite fast. We knew who's gonna win.
Was this the slowest sprint that you did in your career?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What it means for your team, the 85th win of the season, you tied the record of HTC from 2009. What it means for you and your team?
Yeah, it's been a really successful season for the team. A lot of guys have opportunities. A lot of guys are winning, and they take the chances, and they really show how much hard they work, and yeah, almost everyone has a win in the team, and yeah, everybody worked for this super hard. So yeah, it's important, and we are super proud to have so many wins this year.
Tadej, thank you very much. See you next year.
See you next year.
Next year, but there's still some work he has to do between now and the end of this season, including moving off to Rwanda for the World Championships to see if he can keep that hallowed jersey on his shoulders. I believe, if I got things right, which can always be a bit of a crapshoot, the best young rider, I believe, under 23 goes to Oscar Onley. And it looks like the best Canadian would be Hugo Houle, 45th. He's also the best Canadian in Quebec City as well. I think he came 44th there, so there's nothing if not consistent. Like if you did see the race in Quebec, they'll sit the podium down and show them the last kilometer. Of course, Quinn Simmons, you won't be seeing much of himself as the front two were off and away.
Guys, we'll let you enjoy the highlights of the race and see you on the podium in a few minutes.
I've seen enough videos of you guys dropping me. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, that's Simmons saying that.
Forced to watch it again. Sure we did the record of the course score.
I hope. Yeah. It's not fun.
How much you pushed?
I think it was like 320 average for the whole day.
All day. I had like 340. 396 normally.
I think I had 280 maybe. Must be nice.
Simmons on his phone. He gets the chance to see himself. Mad respect for the post-race calories there. Race winner, Brandon McNulty. Now they'll head to the podium. Basilica, dedicated in 1829. Two towers on that building, both have bells in them. Ul mural. We'll see him on the podium as the best Canadian as well. Assist for Premier Tech IPT. And the podium is coming up right now.
En troisième position, représentant la formation Little Trek, Quinn Simmons. Pour lui remettre son trophée, nous invitons le président et chef de la direction chez Québécois, M. Pierre-Carl Pellado. En deuxième position de la formation UCI Team Emirates XRG, Tadej Pogačar! Pour lui remettre son trophée, le président directeur général de Tourisme Montréal, M. Yves Lalumière. Et le grand vainqueur de la 14e édition du Grand Prix Cycliste de Montréal, et également de la formation UCI Team Emirates XRG, Brandon McNulty! Pour lui remettre son trophée, M. Alain Vaillancourt, membre du comité exécutif et responsable de la sécurité publique de la Ville de Montréal. Mesdames et messieurs, votre podium 2025!
Reminder of the top 10. McNulty, Pogačar, Simmons, the top 3. Hollis, Yates, Barre, Benut, Adam Boudou, Strong, and Bettiol, the top 10.
Maintenant, place à une présentation spéciale aux vainqueurs et à la remise de prix aux meilleurs jeunes et aux meilleurs Canadiens du Grand Prix cycliste de Montréal. Mesdames et messieurs, merci d'accueillir maintenant Viviane Augsburger, Brand Manager chez Tudor Canada. Madame Céline Vandenbroek, chargée des relations publiques chez Ecoy. Et l'honorable Adam Van Coverden, secrétaire d'État au sport au gouvernement du Canada. Le chronométreur officiel des Grands Prix cyclistes, Tudor, est heureux d'offrir aux vainqueurs de l'épreuve d'aujourd'hui une montre Tudor Pelagos FXD Chrono Cycling Edition pour commémorer son exploit d'aujourd'hui. Accueillez de nouveau le vainqueur du Grand Prix cycliste de Montréal de la formation UCI Team Emirates XRG, Brandon McNulty! Nous invitons maintenant M. Augsburger, Brand Manager chez Tudor Canada, à remettre la montre à Brandon McNulty. Mesdames et messieurs, le vainqueur du Grand Prix cycliste de Montréal 2025, Brandon McNulty! Place maintenant aux meilleurs jeunes de l'édition 2025 de la formation Team Visma Lease Bike, Jørgen Nordhagen. Pour remettre le trophée du meilleur jeune par Ecoy, Mme Céline Vandenbroek, chargée des relations publiques chez Ecoy. Mesdames et messieurs, le meilleur jeune du Grand Prix cycliste de Montréal 2025. Et enfin, voici le meilleur Canadien du Grand Prix cycliste de Montréal de la formation IPT. Accueillez chaleureusement Hugo Houle! Pour remettre le trophée au meilleur Canadien, l'honorable Adam Van Coverden, secrétaire d'État au sport du gouvernement du Canada. Mesdames et messieurs, le meilleur Canadien, Hugo Houle! Et c'est ainsi que se termine la 14e édition du Grand Prix cycliste de Montréal. Merci à tous et à toutes de votre présence et votre
McNulty,
enthousiasme.
Pogačar, Simmons,
Pour une
Hugo
dernière
Houle,
fois,
the top
nos
Canadian in
partenaires
45th, and
publics et
it was
privés,
Jørgen
le gouvernement
Nordhagen.
du Canada, le gouvernement du Québec,
Finished in 33rd,
la Ville de Montréal en
as
collaboration
the
avec
best
Tourisme
young
de
rider.
Montréal et l'Université de Montréal, Québecor, Écoy et Tudor.
So that brings an end to two
À vous tous, encore une fois,
fantastic
merci
days of
d'avoir été
racing in
présents.
La Belle
Plaisir de vous
Province, Quebec
retrouver
2
l'an
days ago.
prochain pour la
Montreal
15e
here.
édition
Thank
du
you
Grand
for
Prix
everyone who
cycliste
organized this
de
race,
Montréal.
putting
À
together this stream so we could get out to the wider Canadian community. Thanks to those who watched. And on behalf of me, on behalf of everybody here who watched, I'll sign it off for now. It's been a long day. My name is Gavin Day. A taste of things to come. Next year, the two races return, and then the World Championships here in Montreal.